to steal the duck's honey. The ants actually bought an entire plumbing company. They built a secret pipeline, stretching straight from the duck's house to their underground nest. Not long ago, these ants were still struggling to find food. That's when they ran into a duck who had just come home from the supermarket. He accidentally dropped some sugar, and one lucky little ant found a cube of it. To its surprise, the duck even helped it carry the sugar. Overjoyed, the ant dashed home as fast as it could, but in its excitement, it crashed into the line of ants ahead, sending the sugar flying right onto the head of the lead ant. The leader immediately reported the discovery of rock sugar. The whole colony went wild. They beat their war drums and rallied every ant to march into battle. Meanwhile, the duck was humming happily in his kitchen, ready to cook something delicious, helping that tiny ant had put him in a good mood. But then he froze. He suddenly remembered, ants live in colonies. He rushed to the door to check, and sure enough, a perfectly organized army of ants was marching straight toward his house. Panicked, the duck bolted back inside. He hid his food, sealed every window, even bricked up the chimney. Then he carefully locked away his beloved jar of honey. Just then, he remembered the package at the door. After peeking outside to make sure the coast was clear, he opened the door, grabbed the box, and quickly shut it. Inside were only advertisements. Fuming, he tossed the flyers aside, but the letters on the page began to wriggle. They weren't letters at all. They were ants disguised as text. They crawled to the radio and turned it on full blast, drawing the duck's attention. While he was distracted, the ants infiltrated the kitchen. One by one, the strawberries on his cake began to vanish. When the duck turned around, he caught them red-handed. He dove forward to save his dessert, but all that was left on the plate was a single strawberry. Furious, he vowed to teach those ants a lesson, but the ants had already discovered his honey jar. They summoned reinforcements and hatched a brilliant plan. Using hollow cookie tubes, they built a long, winding pipeline, stretching across the yard and over the fence, straight to their nest. When the duck finally realized what was happening, he set up traps everywhere, but the ants were one step ahead. They marched right under his feet in perfect formation. He tried to block them, but they slipped past with ease. They even poured honey by the door, and the duck slipped and fell flat on his back. Still, he refused to give up. He scrambled to his feet and lunged toward the honey jar, but after all his effort, the duck was no match for the tiny thieves. In the end, the ants got away with every last drop.